Hello, I'm Natetheman223. I've been making tool-assisted speedruns of Spider-Man games for about a year now, and I have been really looking forward to sharing this. So, this is my second task of this game, and I hope you'll all enjoy it. So, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So, from the start, the game is going to ask us what we like our player name and our swinging type, our web swinging type. I don't care about the player name, and I use easy swinging. There's easy swinging and normal swinging. Neither of them really have any difference in a tool-assisted speedrun. And right off the bat, the game throws us into the tutorial. We can skip it actually by climbing up to the top of the building that we spawn on, and we'll see our first chapter transition. Yep, a very nice shot there. Wow, and we have our icon at the top of the building, and let's go. So that skips chapter 1 and 2 and throws us right into chapter 3. And we have our other chapter transition, and so what's important here at the start is that we swing really fast. Even though we're at swing speed 0, we need to swing fast because it builds up that blue meter under our health bar. That blue meter is called spider reflexes. When it's full, you do more damage, or when it's very close to full. And when you're in spider reflexes mode, you also have these other attacks that do more damage. So the damage bonus from having a full meter plus these attacks just means you can take out everything in a matter of hits. You'll see that right here actually in this fight. So we launch our enemies up and then do our special air attacks, and then this hit actually hits multiple enemies, so we can take out 4 of them at a time. And then there's an enemy with a case over here. We can do our web attack and then do our air combos on them as well. So unfortunately, we are late for Dr. Connor's class. How unfortunate. We didn't quite make it, but we still have some other things we need to do before we finish out our chapter. So to progress chapters, you need hero points and you need to do the objectives of the chapter. So one of the objectives here is to go to the pizza parlor. Unfortunately, we won't actually be doing a pizza mission. I know it's very unfortunate, but it's necessary to be fast to skip all that. Our main way of getting tokens, as you'll see up here in a moment, is our main way of getting hero points is by collecting tokens. And secret tokens, hideout tokens, skyscraper tokens, they all give you loads of hero points, so you can progress throughout the story very fast. So Peter realizes he is late once more for his birthday dinner with Harry and MJ. So that thing that I'm doing where I run on the wall and then launch off is performed by releasing a charge jump just as you wall sprint on the wall, and then it stores the jump, so that way when you get off the wall you just get launched. So we collect another token here, and we now have all of the tokens, or all of the hero points that we need to progress to the next chapter. We just have to do this mission. So unfortunately, we forgot that we needed to see MJ tonight, so we made it, and then we abandoned her because we saw some rather suspicious-looking men run into this art gallery. So we're going to use our special attacks combined with our damage bonus to take them all out in just a matter of hits. We can sort of combo our way through them one at a time. This art gallery alone is 15 seconds faster than the real-time record because the strategy is just so hard. And now we have met with a reoccurring character in the game that you'll see a couple times, Black Cat. Black Cat has these chases that you do where you stay close to her and she moves faster, and you can't actually catch her. The game just sort of decides that you're allowed to catch her at the end of the chase. So Black Cat runs around. During Black Cat chases, it's optimal to actually make a quick stop at the store and buy upgrades because she's slow. So specifically for the first Black Cat chase, Black Cat does not care how close or far you are from her. She will always move at her slowest possible speed. Additionally, Black Cat has these checkpoints where she will wait for you to catch up, and she'll just sit there. And once you get close enough, then she'll keep moving. So it's imperative to be at those points when the time comes for them. And okay, in the shop, I know the shop was a little bit ago, but we purchased Swing Speed 1, Swing Speed 2, and Grapple. So Grapple, we only use it like once in the run, but you need it to complete a chapter later in the game. And then Swing Speed 1 and 2 are sort of self-explanatory. It's very, very important that you get Swing Speed upgrades so you can always web swing faster, because it actually makes like a very real, a very tangible difference. And obligatory, if you get too far from Black Cat during a chase, you will fail it and have to start over. So right up here on the top of this upcoming building is the end of the Black Cat chase. This one actually ends when Black Cat reaches the endpoint, not when you reach the endpoint. So with the end of this Black Cat chase is also the end of Chapter 3.
Who was she?
Now, Chapter 3 is a very long chapter. The rest of them are going to be much shorter. So Chapter 4, all in a day's work, complete the Daily Bugle assignment and earn 3,000 more hero points and get Swing Speed 2. We already have Swing Speed 2, so we don't really have to worry about that, thankfully. So let's just go do this Daily Bugle assignment, and if we need hero points, then we can collect some tokens. So while you're in the Daily Bugle, literally all you can do is walk, because you're playing as Peter Parker. So we went in to see Jameson. Jameson was annoyed with us, but Robbie has our back. Robbie gave us this photo assignment so that we can still pay rent this month. The assignment involves climbing the Empire State Building and collecting or taking pictures at these specific locations. Now, I have no idea how Robbie expected Peter Parker to get to these locations. He has to know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Like, there's no other way. And we take the pictures as we were asked to. Using wall sprinting and web swinging, we're able to quickly scale the Empire State Building without just crawling, because that would take forever. And our wall sprinting is very precise, and you're able to use it to its full extent, especially in TAS. We collect that skyscraper token. It's very important because the hero points route is pretty specific. What you're seeing there, where Spider-Man glides, if you try to web swing on something and then you turn away from that thing, Spider-Man will just miss the swing, and he will instead just like slowly fall and retain his forward momentum.
I have enough trouble without someone trying.
We gave our pictures to Robbie. He tells us that we need to bring them to Jameson, and Jameson is annoyed with us at first because they're not pictures of Spider-Man. Thankfully, we tell him that Robbie gave us that assignment, so Jameson's like, okay, here's your money, get out of my building. And we leave. And we're introduced to our first boss of the game, Rhino. The thing about Rhino is that you cannot attack him unless you've dodged one of his attacks. So we dodge that charge, and then we slide on the wall and kick and slide on the wall to recover from the kick, and we just do that repeatedly to hit him over and over and over. And then Rhino's beaten in like 15 seconds. He is essentially a tutorial boss on dodging. So now we collected a hideout token and then a secret token right up here. And that completes Chapter 4. We're moving on to Chapter 5, my bad. Chapter 5, this is the chapter that we would have needed the grapple attack upgrade. But we already have it, so it's all good. And then go to Dr. Octavius's apartment and earn 2,000 more hero points. Yeah, we're in Chapter 5 now. Chapter 4 was the Rhino one, my bad. So collecting more tokens, on our way to Dr. Octavius's apartment, very important. I promise you that this run is actually way easier than it seems. Like once you actually like play or try to do a run, you'll know where the tokens are. It's easy. So Harry Osborn introduced us to Dr. Octavius. Very, very nice of him. And Octavius seems like a cool guy. I am sure that nothing bad will happen to him. They would never have anything bad happen to him. There's another secret token here, and we will be introduced here. Okay. So we'll be introduced here to our first race. Now, there's 150 races in the entire game, but we only care about 4 specific ones. Races give you a lot of hero points. The ones done in the run are marked by the game as hard, which means they give us a lot of hero points. This one only takes about 18 seconds, or you need to beat it in under 18 seconds, and you will get 1,700 hero points. Thankfully, we're able to absolutely stomp the time by getting an 11.9, and that wraps up Chapter 5. So Chapter 6, we're already ready to start it. We need to collect these photo tokens around this little park here, but we're only going to grab 4 of them. If you charge a jump while web swinging and then release it, you can keep your height, which is very important for that jump there that you saw. So we're going to skip getting that 5th photo token for a moment because we need to do this other mission over here. This mission is a date with MJ. It only takes like 10 seconds because we need to get to our location. Thankfully, Peter is actually not late for this date because we made it on time. You don't actually have to do the date. It gives you 600 hero points, which is very important, and currently there's no other strategies to get hero points fast enough to make up for that 600 if you don't do the date. So we do that, we grab the last token, do a little spin, and we encounter Black Cat once more. However, this time, we actually have to grab tokens during the Black Cat chase because we're not at the end of the chapter yet. We're still in the middle of it, but we will be at the end of it after this chase. Black Cat actually moves faster now if you're close to her, so it's important to stay close to her. And then we have to make another stop at the shop here because, you know, it's very convenient that Black Cat just goes right beside the shops. So we get Swing Speed 3, which makes us swing faster, Web Zip, which allows us to sort of yank ourselves forward on a web whenever we need to, Air Jump Off Kick, which will allow us to do a move called Multi-Kicks later, and Double Web Tie, which allows us to web up 2 enemies at a time, which will also be very important. There's a few more tokens to grab on this chase. Black Cat gives us a few more taunts, and then it'll be the end of the chapter and the end of the chase. So if there's a donation, now's a good time.
You're an ice queen, but now you're friendly. Make up your mind.
It's called a woman's prerogative. It's in the rule book. Look it up.
There's one last token here, and then we end off the Black Cat chase. So there's probably like 2 chapters. If you played this game as a kid, you probably remember this chapter or one that comes later. This one, Chapter 7, Pride and Prejudice, complete the Daily Bugle assignment and acquire 3,000 more hero points. So let's, by having, like, this is based on RNG, but sometimes Spiderman will talk during the loading screen, and if he does it for specific spots, he will spawn in the bathroom of the Daily Bugle rather than, like, in the office. So you can just leave, like, from there, and it'll be easy peasy. Then, so basically what happened in the Daily Bugle was some guy challenged Spider-Man to, like, a game, and that's what this is. Quentin Beck versus Spider-Man. So you can see the double web here coming in pretty handy. We're able to throw 2 thugs in pits rather than one. The objective here is to actually throw the convicts in the green pits, but there's no penalty for throwing them in the red pits. So just getting the enemies in the pits, regardless of the color, is what's important. So that way it'll progress, because there's no more thugs left. So this is round 2. It's the exact same deal here. Thankfully, we're just absolutely stomping back already, 7-2.
And today, I'm going to prove it.
It's actually going to be even more of a stomp here in a minute. If 2 convicts go into a pit at the same time, there's a pretty big chance that one of them just won't count. Like, you'll have to yank them back out of the pit and then throw them back in, and it loses a bunch of time. So you'll see right here that as I'm throwing the convicts in the pit, I actually punch one to prevent him from going in at the same time. And this is the last round and the last few thugs. So yeah, Quentin Beck gets absolutely stomped, 12-2. Didn't really stand much of a chance. He then decides to introduce us to his next challenge, his second challenge, where we have to complete this obstacle course. What happens here, what's supposed to happen is you're supposed to kind of take your time and get through it, because if you leave cover for too long, Quentin Beck will shoot you with this laser, and if he shoots you 3 times, you lose. But if you're fast enough, you can just swing through the obstacle course, and he will not be fast enough to catch up with you. So Quentin Beck has successfully been humiliated. Good job, Spiderman. You ruined a man's life. And this gives us 1,500 hero points. We need 3,000 to progress, so we go and do another race. So the thing I mentioned earlier where you launch off of a wall can also be done while you're sprinting up a wall. This is called slide jumping, and it allows us to get up this wall really fast. The race required us to beat it in under 5 seconds, and we got a 3.5. And that ends Chapter 7. Chapter 8 is a very, very fun chapter. I think you guys will love it. It's one of my favorites. It has a lot of combat and also a lot of movement. To kick things off right, we need to make a quick stop at the Spidey shop and buy some more upgrades. What we get here is Swing Speed 4, Air Combo Upgrade 3, Air Combo Upgrade 4, and Hero Punch. The Hero Punch allows you to just do this really absurdly strong attack that allows you to hit multiple enemies and just send them flying. And it does huge damage, and you can even follow it up with an uppercut. So, and then having air combos to an enemy who's been launched in the air, it's like the perfect storm. Peter has just finished his little interview with Dr. Octavius once more, and he realizes that he's late again for MJ's play. He said he promised her he was going to watch it. Thankfully, we're able to swing really fast to get there almost immediately. You can see the timer pops up, and then it immediately disappears. Unfortunately, we're not actually going to be able to watch the play because these guys decided to rob a jewelry store. And you can see we use our Hero Punch here to hit like 3 of them at a time or 2 of them at a time. And then use our air combos and our double web to finish them off. The sniper in this truck will shoot at you, but if you get him to shoot at the truck, then he'll damage the truck a lot. And that's why we kept him on it. 2 more thugs come out of the truck. We web yank them in, Hero Punch uppercut, and they're done. We don't actually have to take out the sniper, thankfully. He gets to live this time. And then we didn't quite make it to MJ's play because of that. Thankfully, Black Cat, once again, is here to console us for our unfortunate situation. During this Black Cat chase, there are going to be some tokens collected. The sort of theme with the Black Cat chases is that they get shorter throughout the game. Let me correct myself. The first one is really long, the second one is long, and this one is mildly short. And then the one after is kind of long. Let me think. So you'll see up here that Black Cat will stop in front of us and like say some condescending line, but by opening the game zoom map, you'll actually stop her from talking and standing there, and she'll instead continue her route, which is important because it saves like 5 or 6 seconds because it skips her line. Then we go ahead of Black Cat to collect this token, and she has the audacity to do it again, where she decides to stop and talk, and we'll be able to stop her again. And then this Black Cat chase, it ends when you reach the ending point, not when Black Cat reaches the ending point, so you can end it really early. Then this alley fight, this is the good stuff. This is what you came here for. Spin kick, collect the token, 2 special hits, web yank, hit 4 of them at a time, hit 4 of them at a time again, pull 3 of them together, hero punch uppercut, and they're all done. All 8 of them. Smoked. And that wraps up Chapter 8. So you may remember earlier I had said that there were 2 chapters that you probably remember if you play this as a kid. Yeah, Chapter 9, this one that we're progressing into right now, you're probably going to know this. Like this is a spot that if you played this as a kid, it's been burned into your brain. But in a speedrun, it's made trivial. Jameson in the Bugle has told us that there is a news conference that he's interested in, and he wants pictures and video. So we need to go to that news conference.
Okay, guess I better get going. That news conference is gonna start any minute.
So first things first, on the way to the news conference, we need to pick up another swing speed upgrade. Swing speed 5. There are a total of 8 swing speeds in the game, and swing speed 5 is like where things start to like kick up, where you actually get to move fast. Fast enough, in fact, that we can do this. Clip right through a wall. Chapter 9 is broken up into 3 parts. The first part is this burning theater. And in this theater, you need to destroy all of the robots and save all of the reporters. I believe there are 8 robots and 6 reporters. By putting the reporters on these lamps, the game counts them as safe because it only checks to see how high up they are. Normally, you would have to put them on the balcony nearest to the exit, but these candlesticks apparently provide the same love and safety that solid ground does. Also, there's a hologram of Mysterio in the middle of the room. Mysterio gives us his little speech, and he makes a reference to Zero Wing, like the "all your base are belong to us." You'll hear it. You have no chance to survive, make your time. You heard it here, folks. So this brings us to the second part of Chapter 9, the Statue of Liberty. This is the part, like, as soon as we get there, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I remember this. By skipping this objective marker, we also skip a cutscene. So we need to get to the Statue of Liberty as quickly as possible. What's the fastest way to do that? To swing on these alien mechanism things? I think we should just jump in the water instead. By jumping in the water close enough to the island, you actually wash up on the island, which is really convenient. So now we can take out these orbs circling this main mechanism that's taking over the Statue of Liberty. This part, a lot of people struggled with this part because the web swinging is very heavy and actually getting height is hard. So destroying those frees up this brain thing controlling the mechanism, and by using special attacks on it, we can destroy it in 3 hits. And that brings us to the third part of Chapter 9, the third and final part, the Funhouse. This also might bring back just a little bit of PTSD if you played this game as a kid, or if you really don't like clowns. We get to see swing speed 5 here utilized pretty well. And we jump right into the apartment window.
Just like an apartment.
This is actually Quentin Beck's, or I spoiled it. This is Mysterio's apartment, where he has this, he has like these clowns and these weird machinations. There's another 3 clowns in this room. Thankfully, we can destroy them with our hero punches. This is what the multi-kick is, where we kick them twice in a row by using the air jump-off kick and then pressing attack right after. We can kick twice. And now here's the final room of the funhouse, the mirror room. These mirrors will spit out these weird bendy Spidermen, and they're kind of freaky, but they don't really stand a chance. All you need to do is destroy every 3rd mirror to progress the area.
Looks like I found the exit.
And then
Finally.
you reach the end of the area. Mysterio in this apartment was only an illusion, a hologram,
If I never see
and
another
he was
car for
actually
as long as
controlled
I
from
live,
some remote
it'll
location.
be too soon.
And that brings us to Chapter 10. We are getting to our 3rd race of the run out of 4. This one, you essentially just jump and web zip for like 20 seconds, but it gives you a lot of hero points, so it's worth it. Normally for this chapter, it would be broken into 2 parts, but getting all these hero points this early sort of puts those 2 parts together, or like back to back, so they just happen one after the other. So this is about where the movie plotline and video game plotline start to merge, because this is where Dr. Octavius realizes, or this is where he starts using his reactor. Like, he wants to have the power of the sun in the palm of his hand. Meaning that he starts up the reactor, and, well, if you've seen the movie, you can probably guess what happens. Oh, also, swinging through Central Park here is way harder than it looks. So if you ever decide to run this game, keep that in mind, because it is a little bit painful. Just that part specifically. There are 4 generators around this reactor, and you need to destroy them all. The reactor pulsates, and normally you would have to memorize its pattern, but by using spider reflexes, you can actually slow time and jump around the reactor without having to worry about it.
I can't believe I'm late.
Unfortunately, if you get hit by the reactor, you just get ping-ponged around the room, usually. Peter realizes he is late for Dr. Connor's class once again, and he is ambushed by Mysterio's robots. I don't think he'll make class. Thankfully, we're able to use our air special attacks to destroy these robots in just a matter of hits. During that cutscene, Dr. Octavius assaults Dr. Connors because Dr. Octavius, I guess, wants to, like, fix himself. So Spider-Man goes in and he sees Dr. Connors injured and brings him to the hospital. So we don't exactly know what's going on with Dr. Octavius yet. He has the mechanical arms and they're welded onto him, and they're slowly sort of controlling him. Now we have to go to the Bugle because maybe they know something that we don't. Maybe the word got around quickly but didn't quite get to Spider-Man. During the cutscene that we skip here, Jameson explains how Dr. Octavius had killed the doctors and nurses that were trying to save him. And then, Peter learns that Dr. Octavius is a killer, and that wraps up Chapter 10. Chapter 11, I gotta say, I love Chapter 11. It's very short, and it's very intense. That's definitely the word, intense. In the movie, this is like the part where Aunt May is like having financial issues and she needs to get a loan from the bank. Spider-Man, being the good nephew that he is, decides to go and help her. But also in the movie, this bank visit does not go uninterrupted, unfortunately. So let's do this. This is where we first encountered Dr. Octavius as an enemy. We're able to hero punch, uppercut, and then 2 special attacks to take him out here. Because we only have to do it with 3 of his health. And then he says he doesn't have time for us, and he 6 his goons out us. Thankfully, we're able to absolutely flatten his goons by doing our hero punches repeatedly on them. Dr. Octavius has taken Aunt May into his helicopter, no euphemisms there. And this is a perfect time to grab some tokens. You know, our aunt is in danger, but, you know, I feel like our wallets could be a little bit fatter right now. Doing that RTA is actually really hard, getting those tokens while not letting the helicopter escape. Dr. Octavius puts Aunt May on the train tracks. We have to save her. It gives you a ton of time, though, so it's not that big of a deal. We now know that Dr. Octavius, Doc Ock now, is dangerous. Like, actually dangerous. And also, we're doing our last... I think this is the last race of the run. For this one, all you have to do is get to the point at the end of the train tracks in 12 seconds. But thankfully, using our amazing swinging abilities, we can just absolutely stomp the time necessary and move on into Chapter 12. Chapter 12, when you see the pop-up, I think you can tell who we're going to encounter in this chapter. I mean, shocking developments, come on. Alright, if there is a donation, now is a pretty good time. Okay, we've made it to our apartment. There is a secret token on the balcony above us, and we're able to take it. It might belong to our neighbors, but who cares? We realized we had a voicemail that said essentially, it was from JJ, our boss, and he told us that his son was like getting married or something, so we need to go take pictures of that. And during the cutscene, we realized that the person that JJ's son is marrying is Mary Jane, the girl we love. Oh my goodness. And guess who's there to console us? Black Cat, of course. Because Black Cat is just a little bit thirsty for Spiderman. And understandably so. This Black Cat chase is actually the same length as the first one, but it's much more serious because there's several tokens you need to collect. These, the tokens in this construction zone are very hard to get RTA because you'll panic and you'll get stuck and you'll goof up and you'll fail the Black Cat chase, and it's really embarrassing. Black Cat is also moving at her fastest speed during this chase, and she makes some pretty interesting turns. I believe there's 6 tokens during this chase, and each one is in a different location. There's 3 seeker ones, I think. 1 skyscraper and 2 hideouts. I might just be wrong, but it sounds right. So hideout token here in the hideout. And then the skyscraper token just ahead up here. This chase is actually about 2 minutes, but we're already like at the end of it because it's like intense. It kind of makes it feel much faster than it actually is. So Black Cat actually told us that she knows where Shocker is hiding. Oh my goodness, Shocker in the Shocking Developments chapter? Who would have thought? Black Cat had led us to this warehouse, and this is where Shocker is. Now, Shocker's fight is very annoying and very long, but if you enter the arena in just the right way, Shocker won't do anything. He just won't be like, his AI won't be like loaded in. So by clipping through the wall there, Shocker is now dumb. Like, he doesn't do anything, and we can just beat the crap out of him. Thankfully, or actually, maybe not thankfully, you cannot kill Shocker during that, or else you will soft lock the game. And then by going back to the entrance, we can trigger his AI, where he will try to attack us, and then we can finish him off with one more hit, and that's the Shocker fight. This brings us into Chapter 13, where we're actually getting close to the end of the game by now. And one of the first things we need to do here, like usual, is pick up a quick upgrade from the shop. We get Swing Speed 6, Jaw Launcher, and the Stair Step Kicks combo. Swing Speed 6, pretty self-explanatory. It's the last swing speed we get that allows us to swing really fast. And then Jaw Launcher is a move where you knock enemies into the air, and then Stair Step Kick is a move where after launching them into the air, you kick them repeatedly. You'll see it. You'll see it. It's cool.
This should be a safe spot.
So like earlier, we're actually able to manipulate Spider-Man to talk during this loading screen, which causes him to spawn in the bathroom and allows us to leave immediately. Basically, JJ told us in the Bugle that there is a helicopter landing over at the docks, and we need to get pictures of it. I hope nothing interrupts it. Oh, dang it. Well, there's apparently some aliens in the Speedy Mart here, and oh my goodness, it's Mysterio. He had like 3 health bars. Oh, never mind. Even if you let his health go up to full 3 health bars, he always just falls in one hit. It doesn't matter what else happens. So we are going to take the pictures of Mysterio because we learned that he's Quentin Beck. We knocked his helmet off. And we took pictures. We now know, like, oh my goodness, the dude who tried to attack the city is Quentin Beck. Unfortunately, JJ is not very happy about this because he really wanted pictures of the helicopter landing, which we didn't get. So he's kind of annoyed with us. And then he slanders Spider-Man for some reason. I don't know. It just felt right for him. So thankfully, someone is here to console us and help us through these hard times. Oh my goodness, it's Black Cat. Who would have guessed? So this chase is very different than the others. If you clip back into the Daily Bugle, you'll actually remove the distance meter from Black Cat, meaning you can get as far away from her as you want. So this Black Cat chase is essentially skipped. We already know the destination that Black Hat would normally lead us to, so we can just go straight there and collect some tokens along the way. This chapter actually gives you a fair amount of hero points just for completing it, but we still need some tokens. Oh well. There's 3 of them. There's that secret one. There's a hideout one coming just up here. And then there is one under the bridge up here. And now we know where Shocker's hiding. It's just a few. It's a hop, skip, and a jump away, basically. Because Shocker actually got away during the last fight, so now we're gonna make sure he doesn't. Thankfully, this Shocker fight can also be skipped. Do you remember Stair Step Kicks, that move we bought earlier? The one I explained, but vaguely? Yeah, watch this.
Yeah, well, I was young. It looks like you just got out of traction.
Funny, 'cause that's just where you're going.
That is the Stair Step Kicks. With full TAS capabilities, you can have it go on for literally like as long as you want. Like, if you do that and you don't stop, you can go on for like 500 something hits, legitimately. And that wraps up chapter 13. So we fall in the water here. This is deliberate. It prevents us from being frozen during the chapter transition. We have learned already that we are late. Again, you know, as usual, in the Spider-Man sense. Thankfully, we swing really fast, so we're not going to be late, right? We're not going to, like, miss it on accident? Well, you see, MJ kind of decided to get assaulted tonight, so there is no play, but we do get to save her. we do get to hit some bad guys very hard, which is always kind of therapeutic. And MJ still does not know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, despite having talked like 30 times by now.
And I'm just waving from the sidelines. Was I supposed to meet Cat?
Up here,
I guess I should go.
we have someone ready to meet us. Oh my goodness, it's Black Cat. Black Cat has told us that there is an auction nearby where they are selling illegal weapons, and we should probably do something about that. So Cat chases us, or Cat races us to the auction house, the warehouse, and we kind of stomp her. I mean, it was gonna happen eventually. I mean, come on. So the hardest fight in the game, probably right here, is this auction fight. There's 2 snipers, 3 walking tanks, 1 auction leader, and 2 enemies with automatic weapons. But thankfully, since, you know, we're TAS and all, we don't have to really worry about it. We can take out these walking tanks pretty quickly by doing the multi-kicks and then web swinging to cancel it and then doing another multi-kick and just repeating that over and over. Also, that sniper shot twice really fast and missed both shots. And now we jump in the water. 5 times. What this does, jumping in the water, we're able to skip about 50 seconds worth of Spider-Man's dialogue, which is really convenient. You know, speed running the romance crisis or whatever.
No, can't quit either.
Like, yeah, Spider-Man is cool and all, but we got something we gotta do. So Spider-Man has come to the conclusion that he needs to talk to Black Cat, and so that's what we're going to do now. We already know where she is, but the game hasn't loaded her in, so you'll see her just pop in here.
I can do it.
Basically, Black Cat gives us some more relationship advice, and then we tell her we can't see her anymore. But we do come to the conclusion that maybe being Spider-Man and also being Peter Parker isn't too much of a burden for one person to handle. So you know what, maybe we're going to MJ's place. We need to tell her that, you know what, I can be with you, you know, we can do this. I mean, I know you're getting married to another guy or whatever, but, you know, we can do it. So basically, Peter makes a fool of himself during that cutscene, and then talks some more here.
Totally crazy.
So during this, we grab this token and then just wait. So if there's a donation, now's the time.
I should just keep away from her. At least she still has Harry. Yeah, Harry's been a much better friend than I'll ever be. I'm no good for MJ anyway. She's better off with what's his name.
So this brings us to chapter 15, the final chapter of the game, where we cut out all the shenanigans, and the only chapter goal is to go to our apartment.
Mary Jane must hate me for
so, I guess Spider-Man needs to, like, take a minute to realize he's being an idiot, but he just can't catch a break. You don't actually have to go into your apartment, you just have to be close to it, but by standing in the balcony, it makes the game load just a little bit faster. So MJ has decided that she wants to go on a date with Peter again. And if you've seen the movie, you probably know this part where, like, they're in the coffee shop and then a car gets thrown through the window. Yeah, that's what this cutscene is, but in video game form. It's actually done decently well. From here, Dr. Octavius kidnaps MJ, and we have to go and handle that. He actually names the building that he wants to fight you at in this game, but I don't remember what it's called. It does have the logo on it, but you don't get to see it in this TAS. But anyway, we go there because we have a girl to save. And if you've seen the movie, well, you probably know what's going on here. Yeah, we're fighting on the train. From here, we can actually just absolutely waste dwangoAC with our intense, super strong moves, our hero punches, and our special attacks primarily. Then Peter then stops the train and passes out. dwangoAC takes him and brings him to Harry because Harry agreed to give dwangoAC tritium if dwangoAC gave Harry Spiderman. So Harry now knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. From here, we now know where Dr. Octavius is hiding to build his second reactor with the tritium he acquired from Harry Osborn. So we can't actually fight dwangoAC immediately. We have to shut off these generators around the room. And also, MJ knows that Peter is Spider-Man because we lost our mask, because we got hit really hard. There's 9 generators, and this reactor in the center of the room. You want to avoid that. It will ping-pong you around the room. Kind of annoying, but also hilarious. And the more generators you activate, then the more the reactor flips out. Then there's this last generator, and now get ready for time, because this is going to be a fast fight. So, Hero Punch, Uppercut, Dodge, Hero Punch, Uppercut, 4-hit Special Air Combo, Hero Punch, Uppercut, time. That's Spider-Man 2 in 46 minutes and 9 seconds.
What have I done?
Dr. Octavius, we have to stop that reactor before it's too late.
This is bad.
There's only one thing to do.
Just so you know, this cutscene is like 3 minutes.
You weren't to blame.
So if you guys want to let it play out, or if you want to cut it short,
My
it's all
vanity
good.
cost Rosie her life. Now I must set things right.
Hang on! I'm sorry I didn't tell you, MJ. I wanted to. I even tried a couple of times, but
I think a part of me always knew.
now you see why I can't be with you. It wouldn't be fair to you. I was selfish to ask you. You should marry John.
Peter.
Come on in. It's open.
Expecting someone?
MJ? You're supposed to be getting married.
I made a decision. This involves both of us, Peter. And you need to trust me to make my own choice. I know who you are. I know the life I'm choosing. And I want to be with you. That's the way it is. Deal. Go get him, Tiger.
Mary Jane. The girl next door. The girl I love. And now the girl waiting for me at the end of the day. Fate handed me amazing powers. And with those powers came a burden of responsibility. Somehow, though, having her with me makes that burden lighter. Still, in the end, it's mine to bear. After all, there's still only one Spider-Man.